All right. Hello there, we are Guided Locomotion for Imaging in Deep Exploration, otherwise known as GLIDE. This is our concepts and designs presentation. We have Stevie Galuschio, Lauren Proctor, and myself, Ethan Schover. So a brief overview of our project is we are creating an underwater autonomous glider. It'll have roll, pitch, and yaw controls. Currently, we only have pitch and yaw controls implemented. Alongside those controls, we will also have collision avoidance using acoustical sensors that can detect the space around it and inform our control systems on what the glider should do. And we'll also have data collection, mostly for spatial data, but maybe some imaging or temperature sensors dependent on the platform. So we also want this to be a very small size, so less than half a meter. And that's because it needs to be operable in tight quarters like caves and sinks. Should also be inexpensive so that it's easily accessible to most labs so that they can build it and test it and use it in areas that a more expensive platform might be unfeasible. And as we've been saying, this needs to be a scientific platform. It is for research and so it needs to be easily extensible, and users should be able to add new sensor modules, change sensor modules, and reprogram and quickly change the control systems on board. And the main purpose of this is to explore small freshwater bodies. So with that constraint, we won't be going in the ocean that much.
All right, so in terms of our software overview, we have several sensors here that generate data for our control systems as well as just for general data collection purposes. So we have an acoustic sensor that is for our collision avoidance system, as well as a gyroscope that works with our rudder controls to generate pitch to control yaw. We also have depth sensors that work with our peristaltic pump just to generate forward motion. And then we also have a temperature sensor that is just for data collection. And so all of these metrics are passed to the serial data logger, which just stores our data. And if relevant, it'll pass certain metrics back to the control system to further determine the behavior of our glider.
So instead of a traditional user interface in the form of a GUI, our team has developed a platform for the users to be able to easily adjust according to whatever mission parameters they have. So what this looks like is on the left, you can see in the maroon pink colored 3D model is our reservoir design, which has standardized Picatinny rails that allow the user of this glider to attach different sensors to the rails. And what you can see in the middle in the orange color 3D model is an example of a wing design that could be mounted onto the Picatinny rail system. And then in the top right, you can see a picture of the Blue Robotics end cap, which we're using a standard 10 millimeter size holes in our end caps, where in the bottom you can see a design of a penetrator that actually goes in that end cap and allows different wires from different sensors to be interfaced and punched into the glider itself and wired into the system.
So this is just a brief overview of our project progress. As you can see, we're well underway. We've gotten the project planning out of the way. We've procured our parts. We've already implemented our pump controls and our initial rudder design and those controls, and we've assembled our initial prototype. We still have a lot more work to do, mostly on the sensor side of things and testing, but we are well underway.
So as far as our individual responsibilities, I will be responsible for revising the platform parts, including the reservoir system, the rudder system, and the wings, as well as creating spatial data from the data that comes from the serial data logger, and also intertwining the depth controls with the rudder physical control system as well.
And my main responsibility is the circuit design and assembly of the glider. What that entails is the electrical and mechanical sides of this project. I will be primarily responsible for that, so not a ton of coding, but sort of creating the platform that the sensors get attached to, and that the coding and all of the other computer science aspects will be used for.
And my responsibilities include implementing the sensor controls. Those include the acoustic sensor, the gyroscope, the depth sensor, and the temperature sensors, and then just implementing dependability between the control systems and the sensor data.
And that's our project. Thank you so much.